The perfect leap, a jump into the 21st century and the greatest sporting accomplishment in history. If you weren't alive in 1968, it'd be difficult for you to imagine just how powerful Bob Beamon was at the time. He earned the title, the GOAT of the long jump. Watch this video to know all about him and the Olympic records that haven't been broken. First up, the long jump for the ages. At the 1968 Olympics, Bob Beamon set a new Olympic record with a jump of an astonishing 29 feet, 2.5 inches, and that record remained unbeaten for years to come when he finally broke the sand 29 feet from the edge of the takeoff board, exceeding even the capabilities of the measuring equipment. His first round effort that day broke the previous world record by an astounding 55 centimeters. It also broke through both the Imperial 28 and 29 foot barriers. He was unable to appreciate the significance of his accomplishment at that moment. Others couldn't either. The leap, and later other similarly exceptional and dramatic sporting feats, were simply referred to as Beamon-esque. It was, at least in part, fueled by a perfect storm created by a man who that season was unquestionably the best long jumper on the planet. The thin air of Mexico City's beneficial 2,240-meter altitude and a maximum 2 meter per second permissible wind. Beamon won 22 of his 23 events that year and entered the Mexican capital as the all-time second-best jumper with the career-best 8.33 meters and a world-leading 8.39 meter height. Never again would he come close, until there was another. In fact, no one would come close for a very long time. Beamon's record was broken by Mike Powell's 8.95 meter leap during his illustrious duel with Carl Lewis at the 1991 World Championships in Tokyo. The Olympic record and second farthest leap of all time, Beamon's 8.90 meters, is still standing though, 50 years later. True champions are defined by their ability to perform at their peak when the stakes are highest and how they react under duress. On August 30th, 1991, more than 30 years ago, Mike Powell experienced that moment during one of the greatest athletic duels in history at the World Championships in Tokyo. Because Carl Lewis was such a fan favorite, the contest had not been extensively advertised as one of the key title competitions going into it. The long jump champion of the United States had won the previous 2 World Championships, as well as Olympic gold medals during his 10-year winning streak. He entered the final in the best shape of his life as well, having only 5 days earlier broken the world record to win the 100-meter championship. But why hasn't the record been beaten yet? As we know, the 8.95-meter long jump world record set by American Mike Powell has been held for 30 years. Bob Beamon, a U.S. great, had gone 23 years without having his record-breaking leap of 8.90 meters challenged before Powell's historic attempt in 1991. Going further back, from 1935 to 1960, no one could surpass Jesse Owens' 8.13-foot jump, making him the uncontested king of the pit. Galina Krystyakova, representing the former USSR in the women's competition, set the world record in 1988 with a distance of 7.52 meters, and she still carries the mark. We've seen that men's long jump competition quality has declined. At the most recent Olympics in Rio 2016, Jeff Henderson of the United States won the gold medal with a distance of 8.38 meters. The thing is, to beat the world record for long jump, talent alone isn't enough. Lewis was the most reliable jumper there has ever been, boasting 11 of the top 20 legal jumps in history. No one else has more than one, but even he was unable to break the record. One explanation is that the freak athletes who once excelled in the long jump, like Beamon and Powell, no longer find their way to it. The top athletes compete in the major team sports, such as basketball. So, will this legendary record ever be broken? Well, looking at the patterns, history shows that it may be a while before the world record for the long jump is broken again. Only 3 men, Owens, Beamon, and Powell, have held the world record for the past 83 years. But what does the current champion think? Powell claims that he is psychologically prepared for the record to be broken, despite the fact that it has already been 27 years and counting. He never imagined that his record would go further than Beamon's. He truly believes Echevarria has a strong chance of breaking his record, but for that, everything must come together for it to happen, because that jump was gigantic. Now, let's move on to other Olympic records that have stood the test of time. The Summer Olympics have produced a number of incredible performances and unbeatable records over the years that have captivated us. There are Olympic records that may very well survive the test of time, from breathtaking rallies and dramatic clashes to world-class teams and top talent. Like in the previous 3 Summer Olympics, table tennis has been completely dominated by the Chinese. No nation has even come close to China's total number of medals. China's dominance on the table tennis court is unmatched, as seen by their collection of up to 28 Olympic gold medals. It's interesting to note that since 1992, the Chinese have won at least 1 medal in every competition. Simply put, this one won't ever happen again. Gymnast Nadia Comaneci earned an incredible 10.00 at the 1976 Olympics. Her routine was so flawless that not even the scoreboards could depict it. Nadia continued to set the same perfect score of 10 6 more times, becoming the youngest Olympic gold medalist in history. Nadia was just 14 years old when she got 7 perfect 10s, won 3 gold medals, 1 silver medal, and 1 bronze medal. It's no surprise that she's regarded as a pioneer of perfection. Those come by once in a lifetime. Another that comes to mind is Florence Griffith Joyner, one sports figure who's been most inspirational for us over the past few decades. At the Summer Olympics in 1988, she ran the 100 meter in just 10.62 seconds, breaking an Olympic record, which hasn't yet been broken till date. That's not all though. Griffith Joyner also set an Olympic record in the 200 meter sprint that same year. Her time of 21.34 seconds remained the best for 30 years. Next, our favorite unbeaten records that we don't see being broken anytime soon. Let's agree that the most dominant Olympian in history is the legendary swimmer Michael Phelps. He is the only person to have won 28 Olympic medals in total, including 23 gold. Phelps has consistently strengthened his grip on medal-winning performances ever since the United States made its Summer Olympics debut. He was largely to blame for American supremacy in a pool that set the record for most podium results by one team. It's interesting to note that Phelps has won more gold medals than 66 nations throughout history, including Argentina, Iran, Croatia, India, Indonesia, Egypt, and others. What an undisputed champ. Then there's Ian Miller, who's participated in 10 Summer Games, which has earned him an Olympic record. We think if his horse hadn't been hurt, he might have reached number 11 in 2016. Miller made his Olympic debut in 1972 in Berlin, and his last appearance was in 2012 in London. The closest rivals to Miller were only 1 appearance behind him, so it's doubtful that Ian Miller's record will be beaten again. Only 2 Olympians, Austrian sailor Hubert Raudeschul and Latvian shooter Afanasis Kuzmin, have competed in 9 Olympics. And lastly, how can we forget these? Birgit Fischer returned to the 2004 Sydney Olympics to win a 6th gold medal because her previous 5 just weren't enough. The German kayaking hero, who won her first gold medal 24 years earlier, became the only woman to win an Olympic gold at 42. At the halfway point, Fischer maintained pushing her team despite being 4 kayaks behind the Hungarians. She not only helped them win, but she was the only one who could lift her oar in triumph despite being worn out. Now, we know the United States has always been a strong competitor in any Olympic sporting event. With 2,523, the United States is at the top of the list for all-time medals. Russia is in second place with a total of 1,556 medals. The difference just goes to show the US's superiority at the Olympics throughout the years. Team USA set an Olympic record in 1904 by winning 239 more medals than the majority of other nations had ever managed. They received 79 bronze, 82 silver, and 78 gold medals. Here's another doozy. Marjorie Jestring, an American diver, won gold in the 3-meter springboard event at the age of just 13. It's simply amazing to compete at the greatest level at such a young age. As the Olympics get more competitive, we won't see anything like this happen in the future. And for all we know, this record will stand for all time in Olympic history. That's a wrap for this video. Do you see any of these records being broken anytime soon? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.